18 rings, 6 coins to my name, but with 18 rings then I can change the game. Flip them over, turn them around. Oh shit, look, I turned them into a crown. Make it dance, make it work for you. Coin is for the spending, if you scatter it then you'll reap the profits of the seeds you've sown. What do you know, look, I turned it into a throne. We do what we do to keep the water flowing. The more you give, the more it keeps growing. I don't want your gifts, I don't want your charity. I just want to see some other love and prosperity. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. I make my living by the sweat of my brow, the strength of my voice and my lyrical know-how. I work hard, I spend freely. I'm not rich, but damn, am I dearly placed to think of virtue and preach it to the masses. The fruits of my labor I use to fill glasses. Life is for the living is the message I'm selling. The scent of success is the aroma you're smelling. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. Old baskets might sound funny, but the truth is wealth's not just about money.
Okay, audio should all be good on our end. Hello everybody, how are you all doing? We all good in chat? First things first, I'm not lying. His name is 40. He's got a real name, but we're calling him 40.
But nobody uses it, it's fine.
Everyone uses it, so we're all good. Thank you, Bethany, for subbing. I've hit 51 subs. That's insane. That's absolutely criminal. It shouldn't be happening. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming on to watch. There was a lot of... I didn't know what I was doing tonight. So I had an idea and it sort of fell through, and then a few others bits fell through, and then thankfully 40 is joining my hall, and he is... the Bolum has subscribed. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I should really move where my notifications appear because they're right over your face at the moment. So thank you, Bolin. That's amazing. 52 subs. It's insane. So yeah, so he's so 40's new, and he's one of our Thane's friends from Casual Gamer Guys server. So Casual, as you know, I've raided him a few times, and he's jumped into chat, and I'm trying to persuade him to come along to Empire as well. But he's like a whingy.
He wants very much, as far as I know, he really wants to go, but it's, you know, it's a financial situation and everything, and you need the time and stuff.
He's just a whingy little bitch. He's a whingy little bitch. I've offered to help. We've loads of people have offered to help him, and we will.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so what we're gonna go back to the classic reverse Q&A. I really like these things. So normally what happens is what people do is they'll get the experienced people on stream to answer all the questions that chat have. I like this. It's the other way around. It's very new player focused, very new player centric, and so anyone who comes on asks any pressing questions that they have about the game, concerns they have about the game, anxieties they have about the game, and chat help them out. We've got a fair few experienced people in there. So hi Baz, hi Ethan. See, I remembered that one. Hi Ryan, hi everyone, Mike. Hello. So yeah, this is gonna be good. So we're really lucky, really, with Hearst Hall at the moment because 40 has come in and he's going to be our priest. We're going
to be the Holy Savior.
Well, I won't go that far.
Okay.
we have been crying out for a priest, for someone in our hall to be part of the religion game for a very, very long time. So, what was it that made you want to do that part of the game? What was it that drew you to that?
It's just I haven't really played a priest before in any roleplay sense, and religion in games is just such a strong like focus to latch onto. It is so, especially when going to a new place. Like I've played role-play games before, LARP and pen and paper and stuff like that. So it's such an easy place to latch on and just create play for yourself, but especially also for others, I feel.
You've got a wonderful comment there from Helen, either half. She's actually the hall steward as well. She says, "Good luck. I tried saving this lot and they didn't want it." So, true story. Ryan's asked what
it's all about the angle and the focus you take, I think. I see potential in there.
Well, someone's got to, I guess. Ryan's asked what tradition in Wintermark are you going?
I'm going for the Steiner tradition because I'm gonna be a priest of prosperity, and I felt like taking prosperity but also going with the Calavesi was stepping on too many toes at once. So I thought, take it slow, be a Stormcrow, but then do it as a Steiner because it makes more sense with the prosperity thing.
Yeah. What do you think you would be stepping on people's toes for as a Calavesi?
Well, it's not. It's the. So the thing is that often, when going into a role-playing game, you start out with following the rules, kinda. It's the classic notion of the rule. Once you know the rules, you can break the rules, and so if the standard and the norm is to be a Calavesi Stormcrow, then you would probably also have to be with one of the Calavesi, like the virtues they look for, they kind of stand for, with honor or courage, or I don't fully remember what their virtues are.
I think that's one of the big, I'd like to say, misconceptions, and it's really good that you've brought it up because I feel there's a lot of things in the game where people look at certain areas and they think, so if you're a Calavesi, you have to be a Stormcrow, you have to be this, this, and this, and you have to wear this, and all of these sorts of things. But it's been quite nice that people are, as this Dawn says, honor in this empire, it's less likely than you think. Very, very true, Dawn. It's good that people are taking a look at the brief and they're thinking, well, it's there, but I want to play it from this angle. And a Steiner Stormcrow, there needs to be so many more of you. There really does. I look forward to seeing it in game because there aren't many. There really aren't many.
That's also like, that was kind of like, okay, if I have to take something and like try to spin it in a unique way, that would be interesting for me. I think that is the most innocent way of doing it. I felt like taking the Steiner and the Stormcrow and then going, okay, this seems like, because a lot of the Stormcrow references back to the Calavesi. So I thought, okay, this could be an interesting angle for me to work on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's nice because there's a lot of things within the wiki that seem to point at that sort of areas, but it's nice when people find those sort of little bits that sort of connect in different ways and then they run with it. So it's nice to hear that you're doing that. I mean, I bet there are, but the Steiner blend into one another. That's very true, Scott. That is true. The Steiner will do sort of... Have you depicted any... What sort of colours are you looking at wearing? Have you decided yet?
Well, so according to the brief of a Stormcrow, even if you are a Steiner or a Sumac, is that what they're called? Suak. That's what they're called. Yeah. You still wear the traditional grays and in layers, also feathers, but you don't wear a headdress like the Calavesi. They wear a headdress as a Stormcrow. So what I'm looking at is still sort of the grays and dark tones, but I am then gonna spice it up with hopefully some leather accessories and some gold accessories and like more jewelry and stuff like that in the sense of prosperity.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. So, what's the big thing that you're looking forward to the most? Hold on then. So, does the religion aspect permeate all things Empire, then plot, politics, and stuff? It can do. It can do. Religion impacts the game as much as you want it to, and if you're not seen to be acting virtuously, then you'll probably find that people who do follow the religion game will want to come and have a word with you about things. So if you're acting disloyally, you're not taking any pride in what you do, or you're following a false virtue or something like that, then yeah, that's religion, baby. It does come and they do come and have a word, and inquisitions can be fairly common if you do this sort of thing quite a lot. So yeah, it definitely does happen. So sorry for what you were going to say. So what are you looking forward to doing the most? What did you want to?
That is a really good question. It is mostly for me. It's mostly about I really want to create a thing I enjoy in role playing games is creating play for other people, almost being a background actor for something bigger that's kind of going on, or making the world seem more alive, just to embellish that feeling for everybody. So that's that. So for me, it'll probably be I have to judge it once I'm there. I think it might also be worth mentioning. I'm from Denmark, so I'll have like a funky accent, and it'll be interesting also having to play the whole weekend in English and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're not going to understand me. Well, then again, oh no, when it's Smithy Boyk's coming over as well. Whereabouts in Ireland is he from?
He is from the northern part of Ireland, but he lives in Dublin. So
oh no,
it's a mix. It's not too bad.
No, but my Irish accent is terrible.
Oh, don't worry about that at all.
So so that's going to be interesting for him. I reckon he is going to be he'll piss himself laughing, I hope, because I've been doing the Irish accent now from the very beginning with Mac, and it's awful. It's so bad, but I think that's why I get away with it.
I love an Irish accent.
It's hopefully,
no matter how terrible. It's great.
Hopefully he's all hopefully he's all right with it. How much heresy can you get away with before you get executed? A lot.
That's a really good question.
Loads, so much. It's really difficult to get executed for heresy. You have to be declared a heretic, and then they give you a way to show penance, essentially, and a way back in, and then you have to do more heresy, and then you get tried again as a heretic, and then if you still don't show any remorse, then they might execute you. But even then, it's 50-50. It's really difficult. Niflheimer, Denmark represent. So we got.
What's up?
There's two of you. Actually, I think there's a fair few that come over from Denmark. I know there's a load from Holland, as well. There's quite a few who come over from Rio. We got a guy actually in my old group in the Navarre. He comes over from Sweden, so Casual's got really no excuse.
Really no excuse.
He just doesn't. Yale got executed for heresy. Yes, Yale did. That did take a while. Remember, the definition OC of heresy might not match the IC one. Read the religious definitions. I have not read the religious definitions, I must admit there, Zara. But I've never been tried for heresy or anything like that. I just know it can take a long... And speak of the devil, hello Joel. How are you, my friend? We were just saying that you're a better Swede than Casual Gamer Guy. So...
As a Dane, it honestly doesn't take much to be like. Let's take that on another plane. It's fine.
Excellent stuff. Hi, Gibby. It's all fun and games until the priests start asking who was dueling with the Jotun. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was fun. So yeah, Yale did commit to heresy for a couple of years, so it does take a while. Hello, Captain the Andrew. Greetings. And Joel's doing good. That's cool. That's cool. So okay, so you'll be coming in then. So what are going to be your first goals then for our hall when you see
First
how
goal,
deranged we
how it's
are as
going.
a hall? We're a mess.
Well, I kind of want to somehow get because from what I've heard, you've done a lot of funding of projects and stuff like that. And with that, I kind of want to figure some recognition from somewhere. And as a priest of prosperity, what I feel like you've already done, from what I've read and you've told me, seems quite in the spirit of it. So I want to maybe in the synod figure out how do I get some recognition to the hall. There is a specific honor you can get for doing something prosperous,
Yeah.
doing something in the name of prosperity, and I would think it would be cool if we could get Smith to get one of those honors or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and Smith does do a lot of the trading. Chris does a hell of a lot of the trading, and there's little Josh, who you haven't met yet. He does a hell of a lot of the legwork for the trading. So the three of them do a hell of a lot together, which is
maybe get one shared.
Yeah, which is quite cool. But yeah, Josh needs you need to get Josh on a chair. He is just so small. He is so small. Sorry, Josh, if you're watching, mate. Yes, John's correct as well. We have a river named after us as well. It's not on the actual Empire map. It's on the PD map of the site. You've got Hurst Hall River there because it's right next to where we camp. So
makes sense. So you can never move, is what you're saying.
I hope not. I really like where we are. So the joy of motions of rewarding. Get them in early before the virtue fund goes. There you go. So that's Scott. So yeah, you'll have to get that one in quite early. Hi Max, how you doing, bud? I hope you're good.
Motions of rewarding.
Right. Thank you, Bethany, gifting a couple of subs there to Matt and to you, 40. You've just been gifted a sub. Isn't that sweet?
I appreciate it.
Bethany's lovely. So yeah, so that's really, really cool. That takes us up to 54. Jesus. 54 subs. It's insane. So yeah, okay. So you're going to try to get us the recognition that you feel that that they feel that we deserved.
Else, I would love to hold like sort of I think I have like 3 directions kind of. It's like the outside play, which is like the figure out the recognition part and the external religious structure, and then I would love to hold like a sermon kind of thing and talk about prosperity, but in combination with some sort of like party or drinking event, or I've talked with you about having a battle of the bards, so trying to get as many bards to sign up for a competition of trying to make a specific song about a story.
That's a really good idea. I like that.
And I really like that idea because the thing of like the core concept for me at least with prosperity is the notion of spending the hard-earned cash that you've earned. And that, in my character, at least, I think is really like with the enjoying your time and have a good time. So it's about the partying, the storytelling, the music. I would love that.
Partying, you say? I can help with that part of the game. I think that's Mac and Grim. That's our bag. We have got that one down pat. Not just with the in-character drugs either. That we do a copious amount of. But yes, no, that's a really good idea. So yeah, Battle of the Bards rather. That should be quite fun, and Yeah, and do a prosperity party, something like that, perhaps.
Exactly.
I could mix it in with Mac and Grimm's tour of Anvil, where we get everyone lost.
And here on the left, you will see the Shit River, and here on the right, you will see Arcade. No,
It'll be along the lines of, if you look over there and wait for 3 seconds, and then they turn around and we're running away.
we got your purse.
It'll be along those sorts of lines. So Zara used to be the civil servant in the synod, so she'll be great for any questions that you've got with how to do what it is you want to do as well. Ryan's asked if you're going into combat at all and what you're going to fight with.
I'm going into combat. I'm borrowing a axe from our Thane, Smith, and I'm also going to borrow a shield from him. But my combat role would mostly be on the probably behind the front line and the back line, because I've taken the stay with me and something else abilities for kind of making speeches and making sure that people don't go down so I can bring them back up again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spout religious shit and Danish words at people who fall down or try to break formation, and gonna try to make people stay in line.
No, that's really cool. A nice support role, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really good. That's really, really cool. There's not enough religion in the battles. We get a lot of shouting in the battles, but there's not enough people like doing proper talks and stuff like that. There's not really. I don't suppose there's really been the time for it.
It's a stressful time.
I mean, I love the battles. They're a great time. They're great fun. Getting caught away in the heat of the moment and stuff. So I'm really good. Just hit a crafty mojo bit. Just finished off a scabbard. I know, Max. I saw it. It's absolutely stunning. I look forward to seeing that when you finished it. John's asked, is that something LARPy on your seat, or did you skin a bear?
That is actually a part of a hoodie I have.
Sure.
Exactly. Which is just really fussy and really comfortable.
So yeah, Dawn, she is a bard. She sings quite a lot, so she's curious about the Battle of the Bards. Zara says you'll need to put posters up early or plan it one event and do it the next. Everyone gets very busy very quickly.
That's fair. My thought was that on the first day, kind of like put up posters, spread the word, give people until the next day, maybe, or the next evening, and then try to get people together there, something like that.
So something's just been pointed out in chat by Zara and Joel. Zara's asked her what IC nation is Danish the Fizz rep for, and it's the Suma.
I read on it's the Suma, so my character is of course a Steiner, but as a religious person I've caused on lots of pilgrimage and stuff like that, so I'm gonna kind of flavor that with is how I speak the Sumer dialect or language also. I have spent time in the region.
Okay. So are you're going to claim that you've spent a lot of time in Sumer, and it's now you've just picked up the language? Is that?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not fully set on my background yet because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Wintermark like structure of both families, but also like the country in itself, the 3 different regions and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
what would make sense?
Zara said because speaking Danish means you'll be speaking another IC country's language, which could be awkward. Be hilarious. I'd love to see that in character. I haven't actually witnessed people speaking other languages in character yet.
I can also speak German to some point, so it's again part of the pilgrimage. Maybe I've been to different regions. I know German was also some other IC language.
Yeah. How are we with Sumer at the moment? I have no idea, to be honest. I'm amazed we're not at war with them, because we're at war with everyone. There's no drama speaking other language. Look at Look at Secret Assaveyan, obviously using Italian. This is true.
Nice.
German is Suma too. Okay.
I thought it was something else. Oh, cool.
Yeah. I speak a tiny bit of both and have been off on pilgrimage there. That's cool. And our relations are tense. As Bethany has just said, we do like a bit of war. The question that you'll come out of after seeing how the game's run, you will be thinking, are we the bad guys?
Oh, we the baddies.
Because my opinion is yes, we are. I really do think we
So
are.
we as in the Empire, or we as in Wintermark?
The Empire, I consider us. I think away from the game, I think the Empire are the bad guys. I really, really
Okay.
do. In character, no, we're great. I mean, I have icy opinions on a lot of things. So as I said, yes. I know of a few German speakers coming to the league for E3. Oh, that's cool. Both are bad guys. Yeah. I mean, it's like, even if you look within, it's like I look at the Suak and I think they're bad guys, and I don't think they're as good as us, as good as the Calavesi. So, but that might be the drugs talking. It might be the swamp water talking. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Suak. I'll have to introduce you to my daughter, who is a Suak.
Wait,
Yeah, I know.
is that why?
Um,
Is there a relation between you not being a fan? No.
and my real daughter as well. When she comes into the game, she'll be a Suak as well. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really good. Okay, so
I feel tension.
it's gonna be interesting. But I look forward to, because at the end of the day, if you're speaking Danish, it's going to create a bit of role play for people, isn't it? So, and
I think it could be a fun element because I'm only probably gonna use it in like either like in sermon kind of situations or speeches, and it's just gonna be one phrase, maybe just a quick few words, just to add a bit of mystery and confusion in there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be English.
yeah. And I've just realised that now because you'll be there when Joel's there. I can't do my typical is Joel from random Scandinavian country or anywhere else in Europe, really, because it winds him up so bad. It does. I love Joel.
Where that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so you've got all your kit sorted. You're sat down in character, and we've had our first we've had the moot. You've been introduced. Well, I say introduced. You've been shown off to everyone in the nation, and they've gone, look at this one, new player over here, and people are just like, ooh, okay, and stuff like that. What are you going to be looking? What is there something specific that you're going to look to do apart away from the hall? Not for that, for yourself as a player. Is there something specific that's really drawn your attention, or things like that?
As a player, the it says on this about the Stormcrows of the Wintermark. They are like, people confide in them with secrets, and you are sworn as a Stormcrow not to like breach that trust and not tell other people secrets and stuff. So I think it could, but so what people go to tell these secrets is of things they have done that were not virtuous, in order to seek penance. And then you, as a Stormcrow, have to solve that problem so that they are now virtuous again.
Okay.
That sounds pretty fun.
I could introduce you to a group in Wintermark, a group of young lads who seem to be doing things wrong every single event.
Alright.
At least twice each individual person. Unfortunately, they've been coming to me for advice and help. I think I ended up sending one of them into battle with just a knife as his like punishment for having a fight with his brother.
I see.
So yeah, so I mean, it might be nice to have a proper adult with the group. To be honest, it could be interesting. Zara said, "Don't expect people to come for speeches unless you offer something else. If you want to do preaching and speeches, I suggest do a street preacher style.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you do get a few people who do stuff like that, and it's quite interesting.
I plan on also. The trading is also fun to me. I like trading. That also makes sense with the prosperity and also the whole style, like the whole you're running. So I also want to do like something of that, and just hearing me like. So the thing about prosperity is that everything for the right price, and it's not. Charity is not really a big thing. It's all about the transaction.
Yeah.
But the transaction could be, I get something, or you get something from me, and the way you pay me is that by hearing me speak about prosperity, by listening to something that I'm saying, like for me to bring you onto this virtuous path.
Yeah. So you'll get your nation's synod meetings and virtue assembly meetings, generally a whole day, well, generally one day.
All right.
I hope you're okay with meetings, because if you're going around and doing a lot of stuff like that and you're being really active, then you'll get people coming and like they'll seek you out to come and have a chat with you about stuff. And
I like meetings. Meetings are good.
It's really strange because we were talking before the stream and hearing you talk about prosperity and things means that my idea for my loyalty debt collection service is really terrible. It's
what do you mean?
You can. Zara's also said you can vote for the Wintermart motion, prosperity assembly motions, and general motions, and you can vote once on each motion. Yeah, the synod it's long haul. It's a slog, that is. So yeah, I'd be interested in that. So Germany's Commonwealth. Sorry, I had to look it up as my character is from Sumer, and I definitely need to brush up my German if it was one of the Sumer languages. Awesome, thank you, Joel. Oh. Excellent. So yeah, but my loyalty idea. As everyone who's watched one of my streams will know, I only ever come up with good and sensible ideas, ever. Have you got a congregation as your resource?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Thank you, Zara, for pointing that one out. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so yeah, loyalty. The Loyalty Debt Collection Agency. If you have done something for someone, so I was chatting with a certain bad influence yesterday evening. I won't name any names, but Dawn. She and I would push this idea with her because there seems to be a lot of people doing things for other people, and then other people just taking the credit away from the people who have actually done all the legwork, and that doesn't sit right with me. So it's not very loyal. So I think having a loyalty debt collection agency. Dill's just said, "F off! I'm not taking responsibility for you." Thank you, Dawn. So I think that could be an interesting one if a loyalty debt collectors agency going around and getting people to actually just like, look, show some loyalty to these people. They've done all of this for you, and you've done nothing for them. It's like, come on. So it's just not very loyal. So give them something in return, or I'm going to take your kneecaps. Something like that. Who knows? Sounds like
with just a sprinkle of prosperity, also like this transaction thing. That's the whole deal, man. I like it. I think it sounds great. Just to enforce loyalty through brute force.
Sounds like an agency like that could have work helping free companies get their payment. I would work for anything and anyone at any cost, or even if you just asked. I'd be well up for it. But I'll have to go and have a chat with the Cardinal of Loyalty, and just to see how long it takes for them to stop laughing at me. Even the Jotun. Yeah, of course, why not? I'd help everyone. We've got to be loyal here. I will break knees for cake. 100%. I've done worse. I've done worse, but that one's a find out in the field question. That one right there. I've done so much worse. Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Jesus. Okay, so
Dangerous Bakery.
how about then? So if we step away from the religion game then for briefly, what are the things that you have heard about Empire? What was it that? We'll ignore Smith as well. What was it about Empire that made you want to come along?
It's big. That's a classic. I've been to one big LARP in Germany, the Conquest of Mythodia, which is also huge.
Yeah.
But big LARPs are just amazing because of the atmosphere and this like 360 illusion that they can create, and it's just a joy.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. I've not. Majority of people have been saying things like they saw like Mark Humes' videos and they like the idea of the world and then the wiki and stuff like that. Because I have to admit, you've really thrown yourself face first into this wiki.
I have.
Haven't you? So
A lot.
yes, yeah, a hell of a lot. It's so weird seeing cars on site after timeout. Yeah, that is a weird one. Having like 2.5 days of nothing on site and everyone and all of this, and then all of a sudden you see a car driving down the road towards you. It's just like, don't like this game anymore. It's bizarre. Yeah, but the wiki is massive. It's terrifyingly big, and I only ever
It
really
is so huge.
yeah I only ever really use it when I'm looking at for something that I need. I haven't really looked for anything else, but. I mean, as I pointed out, I'm involved in shitloads of stuff. I'm involved in a stupid amount of stuff at the moment, so that's why I had to take umbrage with Mr. Smith saying, "Oh yeah, go and find us some plot." And it's like, excuse me, 1 fucking second. I'm involved in so much shit right now.
Just unload some of the shit onto him. Here's plot.
No, he's
Shovel shit.
If he wants to help me with some of my shit, then he'll be more than welcome to. But I don't think he'd want to get involved in my stuff. I need to step up my wiki reading game. Yeah, the wiki reading it's worth doing. So read your basic stuff about your nation and archetype and stuff, and then you. Zara says you do need to go and make your own shit. Exactly, Zara. Exactly.
Yeah.
That needs to get put on a t-shirt, I think. But yeah, so read about your own nation, your own archetype, and then you have your interest, and then you read about that, and you find that it spreads out because the wiki really nicely has the hyperlinks on it, and that. So, have you by any chance read the Winds of Fortune and that have just come out?
I've been skimming them and kind of reading through anything that seems to affect anything related to me. But I have a hard time retaining the information currently because there's a lot of references to things I don't fully understand.
I think you'll find that when you get into the field, there'll be a lot of stuff that you'll ask about, and you'll suddenly find. Well, to be honest, I reckon after an hour you'll go missing, and you'll be off looking for like 20 different people all around the field, and that'll be a good start.
Probably.
And then you'll slowly wander back to us, and you'd have had a lot of stuff there. You only need to know stuff about your nation and your area of expertise. And thank you for the bits, Russ. That's awesome. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, so
That's also how I've been approaching the wiki. Is basically like, all right, first I know I was gonna play a Winter Marker, and that was all I knew because that was the hall that Smith was in. So I kind of knew, okay, that's what I'm gonna play because I need some sort like a home post of familiarity that I can like find myself at, and then branch out from there.
Yeah.
And that's just how I kind of just went down. I was like, All right, the definitions. Oh, mention of a stormcrow sounds fun. Read that. Okay, cool. What is the way and the virtues? All right. Prosperity sounds kind of fun, and so on. And just went on that road.
Can you name all the virtues?
Prosperity. So many. Courage. I don't know if I have in my head that honor is one, but I'm not confident that it is. Loyalty, as you've talked about, is definitely one. There is. I can't remember them right now. No, I thought I could, but I cannot. I thought I could, but I cannot.
All cats lick private parts very well. That's what the Academy kids came up with. So ambition.
Cats lick. Ambition, yes.
Yeah. So cat. So it's cat. So it's curiosity. No, it's not. So yeah. So it's all. So yeah. Ambition, courage, loyalty, prosperity, pride. Violence and wisdom. Vigilance and wisdom.
Vigilance, not violence.
Yeah. See, I got in there just before Zara typed that one in there. Thank you, Zara. Oh my god.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But I have been reading, but I've mostly just been reading about prosperity because it felt like that was my area of expertise that I wanted to focus on. So that was just where I was gonna go.
Well, Casual's in chat, and he approves of my violence virtue there as well.
Definitely.
So we've got quite the continental feel to our chat this evening. So we've got a Dane and a couple of Swedes now. So there you go, doing well.
What
doing
more do you
well.
need?
So I'm no, you won't. No, we won't forget that mnemonic at all. So how many people? I'm curious now. How many people in chat can name all the virtues just like that? Very, very curious as to that one. It's nope. I know Zara can because yeah, she's working with the civil service and stuff. Oh yeah, Scott's highborn. I just Bethany's just said I just said them and I couldn't do them now. Mike knows none of them. Andrew, not without the wiki in front of me. Max, I can, but it's taken me like 4 years. Excellent.
I'll write that down as a thing that I'm supposed to do.
No, could not get ambition. Nope. Wednesday likes violence. See, I'd approve of violence as a new ambition. That'd be great. Someone's always shouting about them. This is true. ACL PPVW isn't even helpful. I know only the one I've chosen to care about yet. Just hold a load of post-it notes up your costumes. That's true. Cheers, Spunky. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I like that one.
I am planning on having a book also with me that has like the base informations so that I can like in-game I see reference things and find information.
Yeah, because me and it was one of the things actually that got Chris into quite a lot of trouble because he committed heresy for quite a while. So Trott was going around and he saw someone do some, what he referred to as magic. And he then just went, oh, so we're gods. If we could do magic, we are gods. And that was... I was just like, oh no, Trott's in trouble here. He's in so much trouble now. And unfortunately, a member of his own group grassed him up. He got into a lot of trouble. Yeah, it was great. Zara says you need a notebook and pen, definitely. That's a good one. I saw you ask this one earlier, Zara. I was going to ask it. I'll ask it now. Actually, take care of yourself, Joel. See you later, buddy. Have a good evening, mate. Any ideas how you'll show prosperity on your kit, symbols, etc.?
I've been looking at the magical runes. I'm gonna kind of spread those all around my kit, and I'm trying to implement. So in the Wintermark slash Stormcrow, at least on the wiki, the way that they represent prosperity quite often is by feathers of a magpie or the symbols of a magpie.
Yeah.
So I kind of trying to figure out how do I implement that iconography into my kit also.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Technically, that's not heresy according to the doctrine. Oh, we'll have to go. Oh, I'll have to bring that one up and tell him. Oh no, I don't know it in character yet. Mac's a moron as well. So, heresy is preaching false doctrine. If you're not preaching it, then technically it's not heresy. It's just a mistake. Wording is important. Oh, if only we had known you then, Zara. You would have saved him so much hassle. Some lovely magpie jewelry on Etsy. We've got someone in the Discord, Jasmine. She makes nation-specific jewelry as well, because you're doing the leather feathers, aren't you?
I'm currently making feathers. I don't have any here right now, but I'm making feathers. So, and on the back, I've then written like names with runes. I'm gonna give one to everyone in the hall, and then I'm also gonna have multiples that is just gonna be like with different notions about prosperity, I think.
Actually, I think I've got some of Jasmine's jewelry here. I think this is it. So I'd have to cover that up because I don't want to show my address off. Yeah. So it comes in a lovely little bag. And it's a bee.
That is lovely. Looks amazing.
Yeah. She's...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's really talented. There you go, and there's another little...
Well done.
Oh, yeah. Can't really see that one. That one I'll have to take it out.
Ooh.
So, yeah, she's really, really talented. There is a link somewhere. Let's see if it's on her thing. Oh, I did have a link to it actually in the bits. Ryan, if you find the link, chuck it to one of my mods and they can put it up for you. It is beautiful, definitely. So yeah, only mod I've got in at the moment is Panda. So if you chuck it to Panda, if she's all right doing it, then or Helen's there as well, then they can put it up. So, are there lawyers in Empire? Yes, there are lawyers in Empire, and they're very busy. There's not a lot of crime, but there is crime there, that's for sure. So, yeah. So I'm completely thrown off track now. So you've done all your religion-y bits and stuff like that, and you want to be there because the game is so big and things like that. What's the sort of things that you are looking forward to getting involved with the most so in your religion, because that's going to take up your entire event. That's your event gone now, essentially. Yeah. So what's the specific? Is there anything specific else there that you would like to get involved with? That you'd like to do?
I don't have anything right now, I think. So like for me, it's mostly about like I really enjoy trying the cooperation part of everything and trying to find and like dig deep into the world.
Yeah.
For example, on our whole chat, I've like discussed some things that are referenced in the religious texts about Semras' ship that went out sailing, fighting Grendels, and then got lost, but they found it. But maybe the science and whatnot we could steal from them, and like all different things, like finding small niche things on the wiki, or maybe once we are actually in play, that we could further and turn into actual plot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that people want to look into. The problem is that because the wiki is so big, and there's a lot of artifacts, religious items, magical items, stupidly powerful items as well, that people have said, oh, I want to look into this. So they'll come in, ask about it, they'll get information, but because PD themselves haven't specifically written any plot for it, it's difficult for them to do. Because if, say, they had 3,000 players in that field, and 500 of them decide to look at 500 different artifacts, that's essentially 500 different pieces of plot that they have to write and come up with. So it's really, really difficult for them to do. But I know that it seems to take a little bit of time, but once enough people are asking about it, and then PD get wind of it, that's when the egregores feed it back to PD anyway, that's when the plot starts to rear its ugly head and comes looking for people. Because I'm aware there was one specific piece of plot that came out about 2 years before COVID, and the person who brought it into the game, they just wanted to do this plot. They're a brand new player, they just wanted to run with this plot. There was no plot there. Unfortunately, they got a lot of people involved in it, and PD were just like, there's nothing here. You can't, we're not doing anything with this, sorry. That piece of plot came back the very last event before COVID, and it landed squarely on mine and Helen's lap. So it's going to be a nice, juicy piece of plot, very, very juicy, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that one goes, because all the plots have different sizes as well in game. So you'll have a piece of plot that you can get like 2 or 3 people who will run around, have a little chat with people, and it will end up with a meeting with a herald, and a favor may be given, or then like the next step up is it'll involve a little skirmish, and you can go off and have like a 10-on-10 scrap with someone, something like that. You get a bigger skirmish, a diplomatic mission, or it will affect a whole battle, in which case the whole empire has to get involved. And then they go out into that field, and it's 500 on 500, beating the shit out of each other. And these are all pieces of plot which has started off with a group of like 2 or 3 people, and then they've grown, and then they've snowballed massively, and it's great. And it generally starts with religion as well. So here's hoping that you find something very juicy.
Gonna go looking at least.
So, Zara says, if you're really lucky, then your personal plot, like Yale's, ends up huge and empire-wide. Yes. So Yale was the heretic, and it took a couple of years, but they then were executed for heresy. But it does take a while. So yeah, there's loads of stuff like that, but you get personal plot and stuff like that comes into the game, which PD don't really have any interest in or any involvement in. It's between player and player, and they have their own bits. It's where you get some players who get married in character. Don't get married in character. Really don't get married in character. It never ends well. Well, my opinion. So some people it
always
does, I
ends
guess.
with someone dead.
Well, it ended up with me dead, unfortunately, my first character. So, but never mind. But yeah, okay. So, are you looking forward to like going out and seeing all of the nations and?
Yes, very much. So I'm looking forward to actually getting some hand-on experience with the nations after just reading about them, and actually getting a real feel for them and a real sensation of, all right, this personification of these, like the what's it called, the wiki pages and whatnot, like they make sense now.
Yeah.
Kind of look forward to that.
This is a curious one then. So, if you weren't going to play in Wintermark, which nation would you go to?
Oh, that's a good question. I could be tempted to Brass Coast. Is that what they're called?
Brass Coast, yeah.
Yeah, because I like their costuming is kind of fun, and interesting. Else, um, well, who else could be fun? The There's something I don't know what there's something about the Highborn, their whole shtick that's going on is also enticing to me, but I'm not entirely sure about it. But there's something enticing there also.
Yeah, High Guard. Yeah, they seem
I got
yeah
exactly.
they seem to have a lot of people fooled. No, they seem to have had a lot of people actually show a lot of interest in them, and that they've picked up and recruited fairly well for the first event, which is nice to see, to be honest.
Good.
Because I mean, I give High Guard a lot of stick, and I don't dislike any nation, even though I give High Guard a hell of a lot of stick and everything. I think all the nations have their certain bits that that pull people round and pull people into them. I think High Guard for me is the nation that I don't think I could play in. I don't think I fit there as a player, so I don't think I could do that. But then the people who play in High Guard may contact me and say, yeah, we think you'd fit this, this, and this. Um, Yes. So Badger's asked what is the rough sizes of each nation, and Zara's hit the nail on the head. Wintermark, I think, is the fourth biggest LARP in the UK. So yes, that's pretty much it. So you've got the three big LARPs. So you've got Profound Decision, Lorien Trust, and Curious Pastimes. Then Wintermark, which is one of the nations, obviously, for Profound Decisions. So yeah, Wintermark is the biggest nation. It has hundreds and hundreds of people in it. It's massive. It takes up probably a quarter of the field as well. It's just insane. Then you've got probably Navarre, Dawn, probably next. They're big as well. And then it's sort of like a smattering of all of the other nations. And you've got Urizen, I believe, is the smallest now. So I'm High Guard, come join me. Oh, Zara, I will have to do so much reading on Wintermark. I would have to, and I have not seen anything that interested me at all about it. Because I'd like to play characters that have something unique about them. So my first character was
Don't feel.
as a military veteran and was just there to advise people, and he just became I'm a solid orc. Yeah, I will end up in the orcs. I know I will. I'm going to be a reaver in the orcs, so like a mercenary, and a pit fighter as well, probably. Just want to get beaten up a lot. So yeah, but there's a lot. I like to play something unique. So like if I went off to the league, I'd want to play a chef because it's just like weird. But like for Rushka as well, I've got a lot of interest in Varushka at the moment. So have you watched The Witcher?
Yes, I have.
Varushka.
That is pretty interesting.
That's pretty.
I believe
Go on.
it's pretty cool. I believe I could find any any interesting character in any nation, like just by like reading through. I think I could pick out something. But yeah, Barushka also looks pretty cool. Very very also like stylized, and a very like specific. Like it's a good structured nation in that sense.
Yes, very much. I mean, all of the nations have got a really good, solid brief behind them, and as long as you're turning up and you're looking at the brief, then there's nothing. There's nothing else that you can do. You're doing everything right. So, Ryan's asked a great question, absolutely brilliant question. How do you make an impact or gain a hat in a place as big as Wintermark, or do you take satisfaction on smaller group goals? So what he means by hat is you earn a role, so the position, so a senator, a general, something like that, essentially within the nation. So, really difficult, to be honest. It's
It's a
generally
terrible goal to have.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, as someone who has played a general, um, someone who's played as a general, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I'll say this. I mean, it's getting better now, but like within the military game, I mean, misogyny is there. Men outnumber the women 8-1, so it's all a bit crap. So we need more women in the military game at Empire, and I'm quite happy to say that. The best general I've ever fought with, well, the best 3 generals I've ever fought with at Empire have all been women, and they're terrifying. So, I've been bumbling through the nation's wiki for a bit and keep seeing recognisable faces. Having a hat means a lot more meetings and a lot of unspoken social rules. Yeah, I have a military character in mind for future, potentially. Yeah, no, that's great. Great. I really hope I mean, if it's like I've got 2 seconds in my military group, in my military thing for the battles. So I've got like a healers unit, and I've got and I've got the actual fighting force. So and Smith's my number 2 for the military bit, and Alison is my number 2 for the healers bit, because that's all she does. But getting into those roles, you find the person who's in that role, say you want to be in that role, and ask if you can do some work for them, and then they get you to do stuff. You get seen by people, and that's so. I'm loud and bolshy, so I kind of force my way through stuff. I will happily scream and shout on a battlefield. I just told people I'm just doing this, really, and I've arranged it all, and I'm doing this, and they just let me do it, really, because I'm effective, and then you go off from there. But it's all dependent on what you want to do and what you want to get as well. But you will need to go and talk to people who are in those roles, and they'll help. That's literally the only thing you can do. But yeah, so any women watching who want to do the military game, we need more of you. Definitely need more of you out there. So last event, Wintermark 500, Navaran Dawn 300, the rest 120 to 160, Orcs smallest at around 100, and non-binary people, yes, definitely. Thank you, Zara. So yeah, there's lots of stuff and ways and means. If you find me in the field and you want to get involved in the military game, come and shout at me. I don't care if you literally come and shout at me. I will help. And that I am an absolute cock in character, but I will, if people ask for help, I do help them. See, loyalty, right there. So especially if you're in my nation. If you're not in my nation, I'll probably still help you. Depends how much you pay me, or how much drugs you got. So yeah. So are you looking forward to seeing? Well, this is the other thing as well. This is something that a lot of people don't know what they're gonna do when they get there in character. So how are you gonna walk into game in character? How are you gonna get into game in character?
Oh, that is a good question.
Because
Because it's also a part of my character I haven't yet fully understood and don't fully know yet is exactly how I got into the hall. Because as far as my understanding is, so Anvil is this festival kind of like city that is created like at times every year.
Yeah.
So, and the important people from the different places go to it. So I don't know whether the reason, like maybe I'm a family member of one of the families in our hall, but I've always been off pilgriming or something, and this is the first time that I'm then allowed or been asked to join on the travels to Anvil, maybe. Could be one way, but I'm not fully sure yet exactly how my character ends up in Anvil in the Hearst Hall, and also how I'm gonna physically represent that in game. That's a good question. I don't know. What do people do?
Well, my old group, when because I'm part of a family called the 2 Feet, and we're a large family, and we're all related. So the running joke is that our family tree is a giant circle. So it's so inbred, it's unbelievable. The main part of it, I think that what I was trying to get at was how are you going to, when they call time in, are you gonna be sat there with us, or sat there and then do that? Because I know a lot of people, I used to do it, would start off on the other part of the field, so they'd start off by the God tent or all the way at the top of the field by the Navarre, and they'd walk down past everyone and say hi and stuff like that to people, go and have little chats, and and they'd have a big bag with them as if they were literally just arriving, which is quite cool.
I think like that sounds like a lot of fun. So if that makes the most sense and is kind of like the thing people do, I would definitely do that, I think.
I do see a lot of people do it, and it's quite fun. I've seen a lot of people with like little wooden carts as well that they'll drag in behind them and stuff like that. It's great.
That's hilarious.
So, hey, Robin, you're going to catch our first event in April. Glad I can finally catch one of your streams. No, it's fantastic to have you here. That's awesome. So I met Robin for the first time at Comic-Con when I was doing a talk about LARP, funnily enough. So her and her husband were there. So that's really, really cool. Welcome. So one character I made myself a bit ragged as of work, rolled in mud and came looking for a chapter I knew to be dead. That's, Scott, only you, mate. Only you could come up with something like that.
That's great.
That's
really
really impressive. Yeah. So okay, so that's cool. So you haven't actually decided if you're related to anybody yet in the group?
No,
or...
I haven't yet. I guess I will also need to talk with different people about that.
Yeah.
That was because there's also the angle of that I am just a priest, like a priest of prosperity that has heard about the things that the Hearst Hall has done, but also heard that they didn't have any religious guidance or anyone to guide them in their virtues.
Yeah.
And that could also just be my angle of just being like, you need someone? I could definitely see how me furthering the prosperity here and maybe trying to lift them up could raise my rank in the religious game. That is clearly that, because religion is also politics.
Yeah. No, that's a really good idea. I think because you've got Maudson and the other one.
Tillian, I think.
Yeah, Tillian, yeah. So Bron and it's Smith, it's Alex and Chris really. They're the two main families. And you've got so Smith has a cousin. So my other half, Helen, is Yana, who is Bron's cousin, and she's the hall steward. So you've got Smith and Chris at the top, then you've got Helen. Then they approached me to join the hall, and because I still don't know why, to be honest. Out of character is because we were all a bunch of mates and we all wanted to do this thing together. In character, they created the Huskar role for the hall, and they put me in that role. So basically, I'm hall security and head of military matters for the hall. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's every big hall needs security, clearly, right?
It does, but oh man, it's when you're it's when the whole security is off his face on some in character narcotic, and is off somewhere pretending to be a chair. It's like, you don't know how people react to that, and I'm not even joking. I wish I was. But yeah, me and Trot, we were pretending to be chairs at one point. We hid. Oh, yeah. It's too many stories. You'll hear those stories in character, I am sure. But yeah, we nearly got inquisited because of our drug use. It was so bad. It was so great. And then Trot's other...
So what you're telling me is that we just place chairs outside our tents every time, like we need protection, and just say, he's here. He's just pretending to be a chair again. Like, but still, watch out.
Oh yeah. It won't be. Yeah, it's not that simple, unfortunately. But yeah, the way we have it all set up is so we'll have our 7-meter bell tent, which is just stupidly big. It's insane. And we'll have like the gazebo thing, and then we'll have a fire, and we'll have other tents around. He's just in character as a chair right now. I might as well be, to be honest. Casual. I might as well be, to be honest. And then we have other halls sort of nearby who are like friends and stuff like that. And then people come along. So we're very community driven as well, which I think you'll get a real kick out of, because we get a lot of people coming to visit, especially like we get people like Mike, who creates diplomatic incidents for people. For all.
Is that a nice way to word it?
That was a very polite way of wording it as well. Yeah, he nearly got our entire hall cursed, and oh my god, it was great. It was great roleplay. It was a great thing to see, and yeah, and Smith had to go and deal with it all.
Of course.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to get involved in that one, which is a shame, really. So yeah, hopefully the gazebo doesn't end up curled up like a dead spider in a ditch again. Yeah, last time we had the gazebo, we had a storm, and it ripped the 7-meter bell tent, and the gazebo got ripped to shreds. It smashed into a million pieces, and people were clearing it out of the ditch. It was pretty bad, but still, yeah. So I think, to be honest, that once you're there in character, it's yeah, the PD weather machine. It could be -20 on the Thursday, but it will be 25 degrees on the Saturday and the Sunday. Glorious sunshine. It's just the way it works. It's weird. I think for a lot of people, when they get there in character, they get themselves psyched up is when they actually get all their kit on and stuff like that. For me, I could be sat there in all of my kit and I'll be fine. But it's when I put my face paint on and I get my little 2 feet tattoo, my little 2 footprints on my head, and for the family's tattoo and all of those sorts of things. Yeah, we kidnapped Grim and indoctrinated him into the family. It's just
willingly.
We told him out of character we were going to do it, and he was all right with it. And then we went and just did it in character, and it was great fun. We literally threw a blanket over him, grabbed him away from everyone. He was like, "We'll bring you back in a minute." And then we just started carving the tattoo into his head, and that. So he has a single footprint on his neck. So he's affectionately called a Hopper.
A Hopper, nice, yeah. Perfect.
So. Yeah, so we need to do it. We were meant to be doing it to Bron at one point, but unfortunately for us, I'm 5'11". Smith is what, 6'6", 6'5", and I'm pretty sure that if he's 6'4", I could reckon if he was willing, I could pick him up and walk about, I don't know, a couple of meters with him. But picking him up with a blanket on him while he's struggling a bit, no way. Just not happening.
Trying to kidnap a man that large is just a challenge in itself, really.
Well, this is why we have the other members of the 2 Feet family. There's loads of us. I think Scott is actually distantly related to us as well. We've got Justin my friends Justin and Kit. So Kit is 6'4" as well, and Justin is 6'7", and they're not weak either. So we're pretty sure that between the three of us, we could have him up in the air and drag him off to a ditch somewhere. So, I mean, sorry, little tangent. Josh, who is in our hall, who's like 5'3".
Yeah.
He's one of the main traders. So yeah, I will say that as well. Yeah, Zara's right. Do not manhandle anyone without their express permission in character. But yeah, we've had permission for everything that we've done. I'll deal with that one in a second, Spunky. But yeah, when Josh was in the 2 feet, Josh and Justin were father and son. 6'7", 5'3", just because we thought it was funny. It was great. I've got a photo of him somewhere, actually. Them stood next to each other. The funny thing is that you can't even really see Justin's head in the photo. So, because he's just too tall. We're called the 2 feet, and we have lots of stories as to why. So, Spunky, if you ever come along to the game, mate, ask the 2 feet, because they will all, they will all tell you different stories as to why we're called the 2 feet, and yeah, and it all goes back to our all back to our family's founder. So, and what he did, and yeah, but there's lots of stories. No one really knows, but there's a lot of different stories, and they're all as dumb as the next one. Let's put it that way. So yeah, So Spunky, are you thinking of coming to Empire at all? Is he thinking of coming at all? You'll have to let us know. I can give you a hand if you want to. I'm sure it'll be a laugh. This sounds terrifying. I have to find this photo now. I have to find it because it's just so good. It's not even. This isn't even my phone, so I don't know why I'm looking at it. But I'm pretty sure it's just a really good photo.
While you're finding the photo, somebody asked if I was playing a Lineage.
Yes, yeah.
And if I remember correctly, so Lineage is these, I'll call them human variants. I'm not planning on playing on right now, for the first time at least. I'm just going to play box standard human edition for now.
That's a good point, Baz. Yeah. Sorry, mate.
I did think about playing a what is it called? Basically the undead Lineage. I saw some interesting play in that, because that's just always fun. So one day maybe I'll try that out, because walking around with the white contact lenses and stuff is hilarious.
Right, I don't know how well you'll see this, but that's the best that I can get. Oh, that way. Of that photo. It's on my Instagram.
Is perfect picture.
So yeah, that's
That is great.
That's them there. But it's so good. Yes, thanks, Baz. Yeah, reminding me there. It's the one on my Instagram. I'm definitely going sometimes. Just don't know when my economical situation will allow me. Now, Casual, we've spoken about this before. Let me help you. Okay? Let me help you. Okay? We can do something for you. Okay? If you need kit, anything, just let us help. Alright? We will do it. Determined to get you over. It's an experience that you won't forget. So, but yeah. Same for you, Spunky. If you need any help or anything, mate, give us a shout. Alright? So, yeah. Jesus. Oh, we're going on. So I only tend to try to stream for like an hour, because these chats go on for. I could go on for hours and hours and hours. I just enjoy chatting to people. So, but what are we now? So,
time.
John, what's the countdown now for Empire? It's like 61 days or something. John's like a little. He knows this. It's like he does this a lot. So. So yeah, were you play? You're not playing a Lineage, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna play standard human here for my first character, or at least first times. If my character dies, I might do some funky shit, maybe go undead. That could be hilarious, I think. But still be a priest of prosperity, but also dead. See how that works.
59 days, 43 weekdays, Not that I'm counting. Jesus.
Right? They're not whatever the undead-like features.
Oh, the
I haven't read.
Draugr.
Yeah, I haven't read that much into them because I knew basically from the get-go that I wasn't gonna play Lineage. That's the first thing.
69 days. Yay! Thank you, Matt.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be good, and you're getting there on the Thursday as well, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of people. We're actually doing a nice. Yes, as I was right there. Don't go up to the Draugr and call them undead. No, definitely not.
I think I want to explore the different lineages mostly in game, probably.
No,
I'm
that's
gonna do that.
that's a great thing to do. I know people who have turned up with just the very basic knowledge of what they need, and then they've gone up to like find out everything in game. It's where
Yes.
like Amnesia was brought up once before, and it was just they wanted to do everything in game and find out as much as they could in game. I believe they actually sat the Academy citizenship test as well. This was a player in their 30s. So this is what the kids have to do. They go to school and they learn about the world. They learn how to fight properly. They learn how to be safe and everything like that. So
fun.
the Academy is insane. You have never seen. I was about to quote Star Wars there. A wretched scum, scum and villainy.
Mhm.
It's
They all still alive?
they are evil. They are vicious. I have monstered against the Academy, and I was just meant to be walking along as a giant monster thing. So I had like the American football shoulder pads on, I had this big head on, and I had this massive club. And I'm just walking along, and they're all meant to like just stop, and then the teachers are meant to go, "Oh, it's one of these creatures," and we don't go near it, so it will just walk on past. No, no, they're all armed with their proper weapons, and they charged me. They attacked me, really
Of course.
horrific. But it's like you're not meant to stab with LARP safe weapons either. I don't know how often I got stabbed. You could hear the ref who was with me going, "Stop stabbing him! Stop stabbing!" As well. The kids are evil, but they're amazing.
I've been when I was younger, I used to organize some lab as well in like my local community, like where I grew up, where I started LARPing, and then once you got old enough, you kind of like took the mantle from the older kids that went away to study
Yeah.
and shit. So I also have like organized LARP for like kids and stuff like that, and it's a challenge, and they are vicious and smarter than you think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's incredible. You take care of yourself, Ethan. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, they are great fun. Watch them and how they do things and everything. They're great fun to be around, because all the kids in the game, until you've passed your citizenship test, you're given these like wooden-looking LARP weapons. And we had an incident, shall we say? This was about 5 or 6 years ago now, where one of the traders there plays as an orc, and his son walked around with the orc mask on and had a wooden flail, and he would like come up to us and he'd hit us with a wooden flail, and we'd be like, "Oh, stop it! Oh, stop hitting us!" and all of that. And he liked it. One of the guys was with us, a guy called Dave. He fell on the floor, and what's considered his real LARP weapon fell out of the scabbard. So the kid picked it up, and started hitting him with what's considered a real weapon. So Dave's lying there. It's like, oh, he's been hit like 3 times now. He's not wearing any armor. He can't pick himself up. So he started dying. So he was literally bleeding, pretending to bleed. So you go into your bleed count, and you count to like 180, and he could have died. His dad was watching and shouted at the kid. The kid dropped everything and walked off crying. And we were just like, oh no, what's happening? What's going on? lost the plot for about 30 seconds, and we realised, oh yeah, he's still bleeding out on the floor. We should probably help him.
Oh, shit.
Otherwise this kid's murdered someone.
We'll have to execute a kid.
And that was it. It was so good. It was so good to see. I absolutely loved it. It was so funny.
That's so great. Kids are great, especially at the bigger labs.
Really are.
It's so good to have families
really
and
are.
that.
They're fantastic. They really add so much to the game. At
a game I was to, we got a bunch of kids and bribed them. So blood was a resource in that game. So we basically pumped all these kids for all the blood that they didn't need until they were like basically 1 HP, but they all got candy for it. And at some point, the kids then went back and told their parents, and they just gotten so much shit for just basically selling themselves away. It was a great lesson for all the kids about not taking candy from strangers and let them pump all of your blood out of you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the kid is like, as I just said, poor kid. He was in his tent and stuff like that. We went and checked on him and that, and we did end up buying him. Because you get the traders who go around with like little things in front of them, and we go up and we bought loads of cakes, much to I think to the annoyance of his father. It's like all of the sugar in the world for this kid. So yeah, it was great. It was really, really good. But kids add so much to the game. They really, really did. There's like 80 odd kids there at the academy as well. And they go off on their little adventures and stuff like that. Like monstering against a group of them in, I think they were in Dawn. So you can see them all, and we're like, oh, there's 8 kids there who have just passed their citizenship test, and they're all looking really nervous with their sword and shield in a little group, and they're moving away from everyone, and we're like, we're going to charge them. So we charged them. They kicked the shit out of us. They really, really kicked the crap out of us. And sometimes they literally kicked us as well. And it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. It was so funny. But that goes off onto such a wildly different tangent of extreme violence that has happened in battles and stuff like that, where I've like had like the lower portion of my face explode. Some young girl who we had taken prisoner, I said to her, because she was upset she had brought all this new kit, and I said to her, look, we'll wave you about a bit, and then you run off, pretend to like punch me, and you can run off back to your lines and stuff like that. She was really upset, yeah, so pretend. She didn't pretend. So with a full steel gauntlet, she punched me right here, and like I was just covered in blood. And so it's just like, it's like, why? Well, she got about 10 feet away, and the people who were with me went no, and they charged her down, and took her out, and then left her on the behind a bush. So yeah, she died. So I'm impressed your teeth stayed in. Yeah, me too. To be honest, she had cut my entire lip, and she had cut all my chin up as well. So I didn't have as much beard back then. So yeah, I was cut up quite nicely, and the orc mask that I was wearing as well, she had actually ripped that she'd ripped the bottom of that open as well. So yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. But that's rare. That's a rare thing to happen. It doesn't happen very often. It was a cracking punch. She really took a swing. I think it was more the steel gauntlet. Thank you, Zara. I hope she got to use all her new gear, though. Yeah, as her next character, I'm sure she did. Right.
Wait, didn't your sister just die? Oh, yeah, but now I'm here.
That's pretty much it. To be honest. So,
if it's a brand new character, that's allowed, basically. It's like, I made a mistake. Just...
Yeah, people who've died, they just change the first letter of their character's name and come back in as the same build, pretty much. So it's all good fun. But still. Right, so if you don't log off of Discord, we'll just close this up, and then I'll call the stream there, because this has been I normally finish like quarter of an hour ago. so,
Fun.
so thanks. That's all good. I'm going to go off and have a rum and coke after this. So yeah.
Well
So
deserved.
thanks so much for coming on, 40. I really appreciate it. Is at such short notice as well.
Thank you for having me. It's been joy. I've learned some stuff to look into and like getting a feeling and a sense of the community and like the world a bit. So that's nice. Thank you.
And we got oh geez, loads of people I know are streaming. Who do we? Oh, there's someone who is streaming. I like to go to. I like to stream the people who haven't got many people. Raid the people who haven't got many people watching. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have a nice rum and coke, and then. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming along to watch. Thank you for the people who have subbed. And Stel's gifted a tier sub to Smithy Boyk. So it's like 50, 54, 55. I don't know. It's very interesting. I need to hop in more. Yes, you need to come to Empire Wednesday. We look like the same person.
I brought in my twin.
I could take an Empire off. You could come in and play Mac for a bit. That's fine. I'm alright with that.
Oh, that is everybody's dream. Just free XP, basically.
You are slightly taller. Yeah, you're a few inches taller. But growth spurt. But still, yeah. So so we're gonna go off and look like the same person. And are you the same person? We might as well be. No. Right, we're gonna go off and raid. I know who this person. I can't remember their name. What was their name? I've forgotten. Reese. It didn't appear on my. It's not appearing on my thing. Oh well, never mind. Let's go and raid Ethan then, because he's a lovely guy from America, and he's just so wholesome. It's I would say painfully wholesome. He's just such a nice guy. You hear him talking away and stuff like that. He's a really nice guy. We've raided him before. Wednesday as well, sub him. So go raid, have fun, say hi, and everything, and listen to how wholesome this guy is as well. So, yes, go look at costume stuff, Spunky, and I'll speak to you all soon. You'll take care and you'll stay safe. Much love.